Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And this is Wright Burnin with Lost in the Midlands, brought to you by C. Wright Roofing. And I am here today with the trash-talking, deer-killing, business networking, serial entrepreneur friend of mine, Mr. Randy Freeman with Midlands Dumpster. Randy, thanks for hanging out, man.
No problem. Appreciate the opportunity.
Heck yeah. That is a really cool quote that you came up with, and I just wanted to see that. I know that resonates with you. Tell me a little bit about kind of your thought process on coming up with that.
Well, I mean, basically, you have to do what others aren't willing to do to be successful in business, and that's something that since I launched my commercial operations in 2006, that's kind of one of the things that I live by is I'm willing to do what others aren't.
And you've had multiple successful business ventures, so wise words from the success man himself. And I'm excited to hear more about those ventures. But I do want to back up, talk a little bit about your beginnings, where you grew up. Can you tell us a little bit about those pieces?
Sure. I was born in Tacoma, Washington. When my dad got out of the military, I was 3. We moved to West Monroe, Louisiana, where he was born and raised. Spent 22 years in West Monroe, Louisiana. Started raising dogs at about 3 years old, so we had been raising pets for over 40 years, and kind of just fell into a natural thing of starting to train dogs at 20 and turned pro at 22, specializing in flushing breeds, so Labradors, Golden Retrievers. Yeah. We trained them out of necessities in the backwaters of the Delta in Louisiana and Mississippi. So, just kind of went from there and then moved to Portland, little below Portland, Oregon. And in 2006, I opened a commercial operation doing boarding and training, and just kind of grew that company from 1 location and a bare piece of ground to 4 locations. And 62,000 clients.
Wow.
And trained dogs professionally for 20 years till I retired at 43 when I sold that company in 2017. And then I kept my pet cremation company, which was a smaller company. Yeah. Not a glorious job, but something to take care of customers and their pets. And then sold that in July of 2021. And we moved to Irmo, South Carolina, in August of 2021, and been here almost 2 years.
What a journey it's been. Let me ask you, did you, from the beginning, kind of feel like you wanted to be an entrepreneur? I mean, just having so many different ventures, or did it just kind of happen? What was the tipping point for Randy to go out on his own?
Really, I had been training dogs out of my home for 10 years.
Yeah.
I always had a full-time job. I was always training 2 dogs. A buddy of mine actually had bought a dog. Now, keep in mind, I had a 1.5-year waiting list of clients. I had clients that had never even bought a dog because they knew they wouldn't be able to get into me for a while for training. And I normally took dogs at about 6 months old. And my buddy called me up and said, "Hey, I need you to train my dog." I said, I can't do it. I've got a waiting list and everything. And so he made the comment, "You should just start a commercial operation." And so Pet Stop Inn and Straight Line Labradors was born from there. And we opened up, and man, that was in 2007, March 2007 when we opened, and we never looked back. We averaged 7 new clients a day, and just started grooming 2 months after we opened. And it's funny because I look back, and in May of 2007, we did $136 in sales in grooming, and I thought, man, we're on our way. By 2010, we were grooming over 400 dogs a month, and I changed the pay structure for our groomers. Yeah. And we shot from 400 pets a month to 800 a month, and never looked back from that point.
That is awesome. What a niche industry, and you could tell just being around you, you got a passion for the outdoors and dogs and all of the above. But let's fast forward now a little bit, because now you are in Columbia. You've moved across the country. You've started a dumpster company. I mean, there's not a whole lot of connection here. So connect those pieces for me.
Well, so basically we moved from Oregon. It was, people asked me, why would you move all the way to here? And the bottom line was, my son and daughter-in-law, it's been talking about for a year, moving to Irmo because my son loves to bass fish, and I guess Lake Murray's ranked number 3 in the country for bass fishing. And so we were kind of toying with the idea of, okay, what do we do? And then they announced on Super Bowl Sunday, we're pregnant. And it was like, whoa, wait. So we actually had a family meeting, and our family is very, very tight-knitted, as you know. So we all made the decision. I had a cremation company I had to sell and a house, and we weren't supposed to move here until April of 2022 was what our goal was. I made a comment to a buddy of mine about my pet cremation business being for sale, which was on my property, and his daughter and son-in-law bought the house. The grandparents bought the company, and less than 4 months, we were on our way out here, and so that's kind of what brought us out here.
That seems legit. Your family's growing. Let's get to where they're growing. All right. Yeah. So you guys come to Columbia, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna start a dumpster company. Is that just like you just landed and you were like, there's not enough dumpsters around for all the people that are around? What was the bridge there?
Well, the bridge there was, when we moved out here, I was happy and content. When we sold our big company, we bought a Harley. My wife and I traveled across the country.
Cool.
I worked about 20 hours a week.
Nice.
Give or take. And so then when we sold the cremation business, we said, I'm retired. My wife hates it when I say that, but I was retired. We bought a house. I completely remodeled the inside of the house. I had a little bit of help with some things that I couldn't do. Yeah. But I told my wife, I said, look, I'm tired. I'm sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I'm really bored. I'm going to go apply at Petco and PetSmart as a district manager and everything. And my wife just kind of laughed, and she said, you've been self-employed since 2006. You ain't going to work for somebody else going to tell you how to do something that you've already done. And I said, you're right. I can drive a truck. I don't have to have any employees. I just have one boss, and she tells me what to do, and I do it. So
cool. Well, operations. How many cans you got? I mean, what size can? What does it look like on the yard?
So right now, what it looks like on the yard is bare. So when we originally started, I just wanted to test the water because I didn't know. I mean, we moved here. I knew my realtor and a mortgage broker. That was it.
Yeah.
And so we started with 1 truck and 8 dumpsters, and it was 20-yard dumpsters. I felt like that was a niche. The reason why I got in the dumpsters is because when I did a remodel, I had everything in the garage, and I thought a 15-yard dumpster is perfect. Well, 4 dumpsters later and $1,200, I was like, well, that 15-yard wasn't really perfect. So I wanted to have a little bit bigger dumpster and have more of a niche.
Yeah.
And so I got to checking, found out I didn't have to have a CDL. I just had to have a regular driver's license. But my big thing was I always look at, and I started checking, what are other people doing? And my thing, what gets me going is I can do it better.
Yeah.
Customer service, that's number one. A lot of people are surprised when they call and they find out, oh, you're the owner. Oh, you're here delivering my dumpster. I mean, that's a little bit different. Most of them have operators, and they don't care whether you get a dumpster or not. I do care. I go that extra mile.
And that piece, it seems like that's the consistent piece across all your businesses. That's what, made the success in the beginning, is just being there for your customer and providing that additional service. It does get lost. I've said that before. The customer service gets lost when you're a business owner because there's a million other things going on, right?
Yeah. I mean, and you asked about the size dumpsters. I offer a 15-yard dumpster, a 20-yard, and now we have a 25-yard dumpster.
Yeah.
So the 15-yard dumpster comes with 1 ton.
Yep.
The 20-yard comes with 2 tons included, and the 25-yard comes with 3 tons. The 3-ton is the only one, or the 25-yard is the only one that actually has 7-day rental period. And I set my business up differently on purpose because most of them have like a 10-day rental or a 7-day. Most of my clients, what I've found, whether it's commercial or it's residential, they don't need a dumpster sitting and blocking their driveway for 7 to 10 days. They want to get it in, get it filled up, get it out, and go about their stuff. And so that's where I'm different. I charge and run my company like it's a rental business.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, interesting. So you really do have a niche space in the dumpster industry. That's awesome. How are you going about getting new customers?
So I do it a couple of different ways. Number one is I have done Facebook ads. I have a website that people can go to and book. I do search engine optimization some, but a lot of it has to do with advertising on my dumpsters. I actually have my logos on there, but also the other thing that I'm doing is I look at how can I help other people, and that's kind of the BNI way is the giver's gain.
Yeah.
And so I have looked at it as a different approach, and I'm happy to be the first one testing this market. I allow advertising customers and companies to advertise on my dumpsters. So it's a way for it to get out for them as well. I mean, bottom line, we all know that billboards work. Otherwise, there wouldn't be millions of them and people spending all that money.
Yeah.
But where I'm unique is, number one, mine is a rolling billboard. So I'm going down the road. I'm in your subdivision. That billboard will never be in your subdivision. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Plus, I beat the pavement. I go meet new people. I go to meetings. I go to groups, different things like that. Just try to get the word out and introduce myself to people.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're putting the advertising on the dumpster. I mean, it's added value, and I think that speaks to the customer service side. You say, hey, look, this is something that's going to help the people that I'm already working with. And that is awesome. And no one else really is doing that, are they? So,
nope. I'm the original.
You like finding that space, don't you?
Well, I actually tell people I think outside the dumpster. So,
You got a lot of great taglines with your business, don't you? Cool. And the networking piece, I mean, you've mentioned you didn't know anybody when you moved here, and now you feel like you know. What's your wife say? She said you know everybody now. I mean, and would you say that's part of a BNI journey you've been on, just getting, meeting people in the area?
Yeah, I would say probably at least 50% of it would be because of BNI. Cool. I mean, I'm, in EPN, we're the second largest one in the Midlands with 62, 65 members. I would have never met those if I'll put a plug in for John Manjonas, Hard J, if he wouldn't have brought me in to BNI. But, I've been a part of a group that was very similar to BNI.
Yeah.
When I had my pet company, I took that from a bare piece of ground. I joined the chamber, and I joined LITM. 11 years later, I had 62,000 clients. So it's the word of mouth, which is a big thing for me.
Word of mouth. Heard that. That is the key. And at this point, you're driving the trucks, you're answering the phones. What does like the next year look like for you? Are you excited to continue down that path?
Yes. I mean, we're kind of on that teeter-totter right now where we're debating. I mean, I've got some more dumpsters coming in. I do things kind of strategically. So I started with 8 dumpsters. I bought another brand new truck, a hook lift truck, which is more efficient, can lift more weight. I can carry 5,000 more pounds. But also the selling my old truck and 8 dumpsters. I have 10 hook lift dumpsters. I've got 6 more dumpsters coming in. So I'm trying to control my expansion. I don't want to blow up too fast. I want to gradually grow, and we have seen that. I mean, we're already surpassed what we did last year in dumpster rentals, and we're projected to do an additional 250 rentals this year. Wow. Compared to what we did last year when we first started.
Wow, that is fantastic. I'm curious what you would think would be great advice to a young person, somebody, if you can speak to someone and pass on a little information about your success.
Well, the first thing about it is I really believe it has a lot to do with personality. I mean, you have to have some sort of personality. You can't be dry. But the main thing I would say, and the thing that I've experienced in my business and the way that I've done things, you have to be hungry.
Yeah. I
mean, you can't I started a business, everybody come running to me because look what I did and sit back and do nothing. I mean, even when my dumpsters are rented out, I am still networking. I'm still going to meet new customers, construction companies, remodel people, electricians, sheetrock painters, anybody I can and I can get in front of and tell them, I want to be your dumpster guy. That's the way that you grow. I actually came up with, 4 things that I think speak to me
Yeah.
as well as what could speak to a new entrepreneur. And that is, success is no accident. You have to do things. You have to be hungry. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be days when it's up and down and it's slow, and you have to go, well, you know what? It's slow today. Today's the day that I'm out and I'm door knocking.
Yep.
Don't count the days. Make the days count. That's a big one as well. And the last one that I really liked, other than the first one that you started with, is he who is not courageous enough to take risk will accomplish nothing in life. So if you're a passive person, I don't know how you can be super successful, because you have to have a little bit of an aggression and aggressiveness towards business. And I'm super competitive, so I want to win.
Yeah, I've picked up on that a little bit. I know you talked a lot about how you're going to kill more deer than me this year at the Deer Club. So, also what you're doing in D&I, you're putting up a lot of really awesome numbers, and yeah, those are wise words. Those are wise words. It's been awesome having you on. Where can people find you?
So we always tell people, you can book online. So we want to try to make it very easy for you. You can book online at mydumps.com. That's M as in Mary, I as in India, dumps.com. Or if you're not comfortable doing that, or you're having a problem finding us on there, give us a call at 803-608-6437. We love to talk trash.
Fantastic. Thanks again for coming on. I know you're a part of a big event coming up. You guys are doing a lot of awesome stuff in the community. This big VIP sponsorship you have with a event that's going to help promote Make-A-Wish. So super excited to be a part of that with you, and all the business you kicked my way. It's been great watching you and learning a lot of stuff that you've done to be successful to help myself out. So much appreciated. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Hey everyone, many thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a follow and click the bell to stay up to date on future episodes, or click the link to watch another previous episode. Also, don't forget to like, share, and please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback.